What is up, bros and hoes? It's Asher OpTic MiDNiTE, and today we've got another episode of Powered Down with me and Amanda. We got some cool stuff to talk about this week. It feels like, I don't know, it's only a day, but we recorded and uploaded the podcast a day late last week because of me. If you guys saw it, there's an explanation in there.
Yeah.
And now we're doing one again, but on our normal day. So it's like...
That's one whole day less.
I know.
News.
It feels, but it doesn't even feel like that. This whole week went like really fast for me. So maybe that's why I just feel like so weird about it. But how was your week? Pretty good? You just been doing normal Amanda the Jedi things?
Just normal Amanda the Jedi things, nothing special.
What do you mean? Okay, I was trying to bait you into talking about this. You won your first game of H1Z1.
Oh yeah, I did.
I mean, first duo win.
My first duo win on H1Z1. It was pretty good.
Did you get like, what'd you get? How many kills? Like 10?
3. But I dealt the killing blow to win the match.
Oh, it's so cool, dude.
My bullet ended it. And we might have been a little bit inebriated while doing this. So
how does that? So like whoever you demolished at the end, were you guys on mic like, yeah, we're wasted and we beat you? Like, what'd you say?
We weren't that bad, but it was more like Rachel was just like, Amanda! Amanda! Just
we
like
won!
Screaming. And I was like, yes. But I had to be kind of quiet because, like I've mentioned, the people that live below me, their bedroom was right underneath this room. And it was like, I don't know, like 11:30 at night or something. So I was like, I don't know if they're sleeping. But
it's like, can't turn up that much.
Literally at one point, we got out of the car, got on top of our car, which would have made us like so easy to just shoot. And we did a shot.
Oh my God. I immediately, when I saw you tweet about it, I was like, I need to go watch this VOD.
I'm cutting it up into a highlights.
There you go. I'll wait for that.
Yeah.
I'll wait for that for sure.
Yeah.
But I have my first topic here, man. This is crazy because I love the OpTic Reddit. I go in there. I'll go through like spurts where I'll go in there all the time, every day, and kind of just gauge what's going on or what they think about things. Otherwise, I'll kind of have like a drought, which I'm kind of in the middle of. But we didn't really talk about this last week, which we kind of should have, because last week was the season finals of season 1, I guess, of Advanced Warfare. What am I saying? I'm like 2 years behind. Infinite Warfare. And OpTic got what is considered a disappointing placement. I think they got 4th. They lost to FaZe Clan and Luminosity. Yeah. I think it was either 4th or 6th. I think it was 4th. I don't remember.
I thought it was further down because I thought FaZe got 3rd or 4th. So I thought OpTic was further down. I thought they were like 7th or something.
Definitely not 7th because they did beat a loser bracket team. They beat, I forget who.
Then they were probably
E6 or something like that.
Okay, they were probably 4 or 5 or something like that, like one of those split ones.
Yeah, I think they got 4th. But we're gonna kind of talk about. I wish I would have actually read and seen the thread and the comment that said this, but it was suggested via the OpTic Reddit that they get a sports psychologist, or they need a psychologist to bounce back from this. Like, it's a mental block that they must have. Like,
oh man,
I don't really think that's true. I think especially with games like IW, like I don't want to say it's a fluky game, because
kind of is, though.
There's definitely some of the, the same teams are usually typically dominant, but like it's been kind of a weird year, right, for competitive.
Yeah,
like
it has.
Certain teams are up, certain teams are down, then all of a sudden they're good, then they're bad again, and the meta's changing.
Well, it's like I feel like most of the teams seem to get into this middle ground where like the ones that are normally the top dogs all seem to be performing about the same around this like 3rd to 4th or like 2nd, and then you get these just random teams that come out of nowhere, beat everybody for one event, and then they fizzle out completely.
Yeah. For instance, why can't I think of the name? eUnited. eUnited. Was smashing at the beginning of IW, right? They beat OpTic. Like, it was a big surprise.
Yeah,
they didn't even get like real credit until they met OpTic in the finals again, and then they did lose, but they still gained respect from that. But then what happens? Like, I don't know if something in the meta of the game changes or teams adapt to certain play styles.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
But now they literally got 7th, 8th at that tournament that we're talking about. So
they did.
I guess the topic that I want to kind of focus on, though, is there a such thing? I mean, obviously, sports psychology is a real thing. I'm not saying it's not a real thing, and I'm not even saying like OpTic does or does not need it. But I just think it's almost like the players take offense to that kind of stuff because it's not like normal sports. Like it's not like esports is really you're connected to the players because they're reading your tweets. Sometimes they look in the Reddit, like they're gauging the perception or they'll hear about stuff. Whereas like a pro athlete's like, I don't care. You know?
Yeah, they can really tune it out if they want to. Whereas I feel like in esports, like the community is so ingrained in that one-on-one. Because it's like, it's very much like, it's just a couple of little changes that take somebody from being part of the community to being a pro. Whereas for actual sport, not actual sports, I don't want to be like that, but you know what I mean? Like physical sports.
Yeah.
It's like these
like
people have been
pro
training pro sports. Like these people are being like scouted from, you know, high school. And this is like, it's just a very different, it's a different environment. The competition's the same, but the environment's different.
Well, yeah, and I don't know. I feel like because of that, because it's online, and they're also doing YouTube videos. I mean, we're really a lot more connected to like the esports orgs and the players. Like,
yes,
and so it's hard because on one hand you have, this happens in any sport. I'd like to really point out that most people know this, but this happens in every sport. Like my team, the Vikings, when things are going really poor, I go into the Vikings Reddit and I'm reading all these comments. It's like these guys are working in the front office and they know exactly what to do next, right? So it's not unusual for people to search for a solution or want to help or understand. But when I feel like the comments that get really kind of picked out, because I don't think all of like the Reddit thinks this or all OpTic fans think this. But, you know, those comments that get picked out, like, these guys need psychologists. They're messed up. They've been messed up since, you know, the second time they played 7th at Champs. Like, you don't know. What these players, like Krim and especially Seth, I shouldn't say especially Seth, because I'm sure they all really want it. But I know, like, when these big tournaments happen, especially Champs, like Seth hasn't had that yet, right?
He needs his ring.
He needs his ring. It's all that's missing from his career. So to say like, oh, well, they just don't practice enough. Well, they do. They practice the most for this event. And well, no, there's something wrong. Like it doesn't really come down to like, I don't think it's a psychological thing. Because if you look at this game, especially that we're playing this year, Infinite Warfare, like everything's happening so goddamn fast, and maybe their strategy, like their slaying is like the highest point that everyone talks about, like the casters talk about before every match. They're like, yeah, OpTic's got the best slayability, but maybe what they're not doing is working together well. I think the team, was it LG? They pushed together super well.
Yeah,
I don't know if
did.
Did you watch the match?
I did, yeah. That's actually the only match I ended up being able to catch that weekend. So
they were super good at retaking, whether it was hardpoint or surge, and I think it's because they did it, you know, together. And maybe, I mean, it's hard to say because, like I said, the meta is changing a lot. It's kind of an interesting game for competitive to IW. Maybe just because I don't play it that much, but I have a hard time relating to it when I watch it.
Yeah, the same. Well, it's like the thing that I understood that might have happened, and I don't know how much stock you can put into this, but I thought that like most of the teams kind of decided that there was a certain play style that was just going to be seen as like not okay to do, and then other teams were like, screw it, it's part of the game, we're going to do it. And that's
snaking.
Nobody
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was, I didn't want to say it, but yeah, so basically that. And so if you're not prepped to deal with it, because most of the people that you've played have all just unanimously decided not to use
like
it,
a gentleman's agreement type of
gentleman's
thing.
agreement, but you know, those don't exist in the real world. So
no, yeah. I mean, well, snaking's been a part of Call of Duty for years.
Yes,
there's no debating that. It's always been that way. When you catch someone on a head glitch and like you're seeing them, but they're not there, and then they see you and you can't see them yet. Like that's what we're talking about. Snaking's like this crouching and going back and forth, up and down behind cover, and I think Splice was accused of doing that. They placed second, and they were accusing them of doing that. And it's like, I don't really know if that's the reason that for inconsistent placings, but
no, for sure.
It's definitely an odd mechanic that people have to get used to, because like you said, like some teams are like, yeah, we don't do that, and other teams are like, yeah, we do that. Deal with it. It's part of the game. Yeah. So I don't know. It's really interesting. I don't think that OpTic needs a psychologist, so I feel like that's a really far stretch. And I feel like when when your favorite team loses, you search for like the scapegoat. And for years, NadeShot was just the scapegoat. It was easy.
He was.
It was just, Nade went negative that one map. That was why the whole tournament was lost.
The poor little dude.
Poor Nade. Yeah, I actually felt really bad for NadeShot when that was all happening, because he just really did get shitted on as far as like the community and the fans. Like, and that's the thing that's weird too, is like, why? I guess it's because people need an answer, but why, if you're a fan of a team, like obviously I'm like if I could compare it to real sports, like I'm a Vikings fan, okay?
Yeah.
Years where they suck ass and don't make the playoffs, I'm like, that really sucks. I feel like this is what needs to change, but you know, I still support them. You know, I'm not gonna go say mean things to like I'm not gonna tweet like the quarterback, you fucking nerd, you're the reason. Yeah, like be mean or like crazy like that. And then like I don't know, it just feels like these types of people that like to be mean to the players or say these ridiculous things, it's like they only want to be there when shit's going good, but when shit goes bad, they're just toxic.
Yeah,
it's not a real fan.
Fair weather fans. Fair weather fans. Yeah,
it's definitely, you're not like a real actual fan of the team and the people on the team.
Yeah.
If the first thing you do in their down moment is like kick them, right?
Yeah, and I feel like Call of Duty, especially in the past few years, has been really easy to be a constant fan, because I get it, in actual sports, players get traded and drafted. So sometimes you're like, you know, this is where I live, so I should, you know, root for this team, but I'm such a huge fan of this player and he just got drafted to this team, so I don't know who I should root for. But like in Call of Duty, the top teams all seem to stay pretty consistent, especially for the since like AW to now.
Yeah, like when you think of like OpTic, you think of Seth, Crim.
Yeah, and like FaZe, you think of like the Enable, Attach, Clayster run, like you just think of them together and they don't really change that much. So it's easier to band together behind them. But no, people, you know, it's like they start doing bad. It's like, oh, it's time for a roster change. Or
yeah, I don't really understand that, because it's way easier to, I mean, especially at this level, right? Because Call of Duty, it took a while to get this way. But I would say that arguably, like, some of the most skilled players of all time are on, like, the same 2 or 3 teams. Like, OpTic, FaZe, Envy. Like, those are some of the greatest players that have ever touched Call of Duty over the span of, like, since I've been watching it in 2010. Like, I've been watching this whole thing unfold, right? It's not like I feel like the people that kind of came in, like, the last like year or two, they don't really know the history of like, how did we get to this point? Like, if you would have told me 3 years ago, like, yeah, Crim and Karma join OpTic and NadeShot's not on the team, like I would have been like, what? Like, that's foreign, right? So now we're to this point where like it's almost like these super teams, kind of like similar to like this NBA finals is going on. It's like these super teams. And so when something goes wrong, like they're just like, we'll just get someone else, get a better guy. And
but it's like no, these are literally the best people. It's just, you know, maybe somebody had an off day, or maybe people just didn't click, or sometimes it's really just as simple as you turned left when you should have turned right. You know, it's just these split-second decisions.
Yeah,
like,
and Call of Duty kind of comes down to that too. A lot of small situations. Like if I would have just done this different in that round, that could have changed the whole thing. And like the streaks in this game are super important.
Yeah.
With search and destroy and a hard point, like it's just so important to get those streaks. And so one player has a good map on the other team and one player has a bad map on the other team, and it's like, oh well, the streaks even help them win.
Killing somebody 1 second later can change how the spawns rotate. You know, like the very minimal differences can make huge ramifications in the game. It's not like a sport where it's like, okay, like you see all the players on the field, you see them, they're all right there. You just have to account for them. Like there's so many different variables in a video game.
Yeah, like he threw the ball wrong, or that guy didn't catch the ball, and you can instantly diagnose what happened, right? Like, this guy dropped the ball. But like,
you know,
but with
crazy.
eSports,
so
it's more team oriented for sure.
Like if it'd be, honestly, if there was somebody who was so obviously slacking, then you'd be like, okay, well they're slacking, but it's never like that. It's like, okay, this person had a slightly rough event this day, and maybe that overall contributed to this, but that's usually not the case. It's usually just like a couple of little slips, or even just the other team getting better opportunities or making better opportunities. So I definitely don't think they need a sports psychologist. Like,
I don't think so either. I think that, although I think sports psychology definitely probably has a place in esports somewhere. I'm thinking even more of like Super Smash Bros, where it's one person. Where this guy is the team, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that
it's more common
makes
for that.
more sense. And doing these, I mean, there's been stuff that OpTic's done with sponsors in the past where they do stuff together. They do team building stuff. Like
Yeah.
that stuff's all important. But
That
now
stuff's good.
they've kind of
Yeah.
been like together so long.
Yeah.
I feel like they know how to talk to each other. They know how to get out of a rut. And I think that although it is unfortunate, this is probably the second biggest event. This event that we're talking about is probably the second biggest event of the year. It is good that Anaheim is coming right up next weekend and they can try to get back on their path.
Hopefully.
And I guess it's better that it happened now when they have a rebound event. And also it's obviously good that it didn't happen at Champs because Champs is the end all be all, right? Like that's when I think of Call of Duty and tournaments, I think of like really want to see OpTic win Champs. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that maybe them kind of stumbling a bit now lets them know what they need to work on going into it. Because last year they were just like this wrecking ball until Champs.
I don't think that's true because I feel like the year before they were, but then last year I think they lost the tournament before Champs.
No, they
might
won
be
it.
wrong. Are you sure?
No, they won. They won.
I feel like there was some type of event that they lost before Champs last year, and I was like, wow, better this one than Champs.
I thought they won. I think they lost Paris. Maybe I'm wrong. I was pretty sure because last year I was.
Are you talking about
kind of
ESWC?
Yeah, that one.
I think they've won every SWC.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yep.
I thought they won Anaheim though. I thought they did.
They did win Anaheim, but there was an event after. I don't remember.
Was there an event? I mean, they won all for me the ones that I'm talking about like all the major CWL events.
They were dominant all year for sure.
Yeah.
But I do. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I remember being like last year. Oh wow. Well, at least this happened now than instead of a Champs.
I can't remember.
Maybe it's some kind of regional qualifier thing. I'm not sure that they lost.
Might have been.
I'd have to look it up. There might be someone listening that's like, you dummies, it was this one. So
that's good because we'll need that. But for me, because at the time I was still kind of more because again I've mentioned I went into competitive COD as a FaZe fan. So like a year ago I was still kind of more rooting for FaZe.
Are you still a FaZe? Like who's your team? Just answer.
No, my team's OpTic now because I have so many friends in OpTic. So many, I mean two.
I mean. We are the greatest team of all time, so it makes sense that you want to be an OpTic fan, of course.
Yeah,
basically. So
yeah, totally. I still like seeing FaZe do well though.
I do too. I know that sounds really bad because like a lot of people are like FaZe or OpTic. Like it's like a gang, right? You're either FaZe up or you're Greenwall, right?
Yeah.
I really like Clayster still. I like seeing Clayster do well. The other FaZe guys are really talented, and so I like seeing Clayster do well.
Same.
But if it's in the finals versus OpTic, I want OpTic to win 10 out of 10 times. Sorry, Clay.
I understand. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
that's what I mean. So like I feel like last year I was rooting for FaZe. I know they lost. That's all I remember, and I was pretty sure OpTic won. So anytime I was thinking of an event in my head at least. But
anytime that they've played each other in the finals, you mean?
Yeah, anything like close to that.
That they play each other. I don't know, man. I think like specifically the OpTic Reddit, I got love for you guys. I don't even know how many of you guys are watching this episode. I don't mean to be like, man, those guys in there are real shitty to our team. I think it's just it's just maybe misplaced passion. I think being passionate about your team, I mean, that's good. You want people to be passionate about your team, but sometimes it goes a little far. I think some people really are genuinely fair weather fans, and some people like understand like there's rough patches. It's so difficult also since OpTic has been so dominant. I mean, I think it can't be really too debated at this point in the last like 2 to 3 years of competitive Call of Duty. Like OpTic has been like a dominant team, right? Yeah. Like when you would say, okay, who's been the best over the last like few Call of Duty or the Jetpack era, you'd say OpTic, right? And so, but to be at the top and to stay at the top is even harder because everyone's training for you. Everyone's watching your VOD. Who's the VOD that they're watching to figure out what's going on you?
Exactly.
And
so they're all planning around them.
Right. It's difficult. It's difficult for sure. So we'll see. I'm hoping we bounce back at Anaheim, and I'm hoping
I'm hyped.
I'm hoping to be at COD Champs and see them win it all.
Me too.
God, that'd be amazing. Oh my God.
Me too. I'm trying so hard to go.
Prayers. You should go.
I'm going to try.
Go, God,
try.
Dang it. So anyway, no eSports psychology. Well, not yet.
Not yet.
Not unless there's an actual diagnosable problem within the team.
That's what I mean. But I feel like that would come more into effect if there was some kind of like argument among members. I don't think there's any like hostility between anybody. So I don't really see that there'd be an issue there.
No, yeah. It just comes down to like performing at the day. Because you got to think about too, especially for if you're thinking about it in the glass of champs, like they're training all year, they're doing this all year, they're practicing all year for this one best of 3 or best of 5 match.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Like you all this momentum and all this stuff leads into like a 30-minute match or an hour match, whatever it is.
However long it takes.
It's kind of crazy. So
it's crazy.
Speaking of kind of crazy, want to know what's before Anaheim?
What's before Anaheim?
E3, the Expo.
E3.
Yeah. I don't know how much I want to talk about it this week because actually we will be uploading another podcast on next Tuesday, which will be kind of in the middle of E3. But I thought we could like tell you guys like what we're looking forward to learning about at E3. And yeah, obviously I'm in the boat of the new CoD. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, same. I just want to see some multiplayer.
I want to see some multiplayer and either get out my pitchfork or put it down.
Yeah, exactly. One or the other.
Do you see this big like hashtag fake news going around about like no health regen in multiplayer?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know why they're saying it's in multiplayer. There's a lot because obviously there's gonna be no health regen if you don't know in the Call of Duty World War II single player, which kind of like lends itself well to the World War II like vibe, right? Like that makes sense.
Cool with that. I'm cool with that.
And I couldn't see it being a multiplayer, but remember when like the first jetpack image came out. And they were like, "Oh, that won't be a multiplayer."
Yeah, and it was.
Is this the same? Is this the same thing?
I don't know. We're gonna find out because like it'd be rough if it was. But at the same time, you know, like CS:GO, there's no health regen in CS:GO.
Yeah, and everything's CS:GO is played so much slow. Yeah, CS:GO is played so much slower than Call of Duty. Is literally crazy. Like crazy
honestly,
FPS.
If they did that, if they changed it so that there's no health regen, I honestly think that a large number of the pro players would no longer be able to be pro players because they're playing style that I don't think they could adapt.
Well, there'd have to be someone design is like these other FPS, like Overwatch and Battlefield. Like they have that, but then they have these roles like healers and medics, the medic and all that type of shit. So it really changed the landscape. I just don't see it. I don't see it because I mean Overwatch. Is designed to be a competitive game. Yeah. Battlefield is designed to be more of a simulation style game.
So that makes sense.
And Call of Duty is designed to be fast paced, freaking psychotic, FPS, arcade style, which I love. That's what I love.
Same.
So to slow it down would be bad. Don't do it. I don't think they're gonna do it. It's fake news.
Fake news, bruh.
Is there a game in particular you're excited to see out of E3 though?
There's games I'm excited for next year, but nothing in particular at E3 that I'm really waiting for. Like, I think The Last of Us 2 is going to be amazing, but I feel like that teaser trailer gave me everything I needed to know about it, and now I don't need to see anything until I play the game.
I don't even think I watched that teaser trailer. I literally just heard they're doing Last of Us 2, and I was like, yes, I can't wait.
So excited. So good, though. It was so nice. It was so pretty.
I didn't play The Last of Us on PS3, but I did play it remastered on PS4, and I played the DLC, and it was beautiful, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see more about that. I am disappointed because Red Dead Redemption got pushed back to, I think, 2018. So next spring. Oh, yeah. So, and they teased it. They did like a really short teaser trailer at E3 last year. So I'm not sure how much they're going to have this year, if at all, if Rockstar's doing anything. Rockstar's kind of weird like that.
Yeah. Well, they don't really have to do too much work. People are going to get it anyways. So.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to keep the hype going too. Like, they'll probably do a little bit of something just to get the, like, added hype going. Other than that, I'm kind of excited. I don't know, because Fractured Butthole, which is the South Park game.
What? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Fractured Butthole.
Did you play Stick of Truth?
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, I loved it, dude.
I love it. But it got pushed back, too, so I'm hoping that maybe they'll show, like, a little bit of something, because I think it comes out in fall now, so they might show something. Oh, yeah, they
definitely will then. If it's coming out in the fall. If it's I'm so excited it's coming out in the fall. I hope it's coming out before.
Well, it's supposed to be spring. CoD. It was supposed to be, like, out now. But I give them the full free pass.
Is it really called Fractured Butthole?
Yeah, Fractured Butthole.
Oh, my God.
No, but it's like butthole. Fractured Butthole. But then if you read it all together quickly, it's Fractured Butthole. I love it. It's great.
No effing way, dude. I'm excited. I played through the whole Stick of Truth. I freaking loved it.
Yeah, I'm going to play that on stream.
Do you think it's going to be the same theme of the, like, MMO style or the RPG style?
Yeah, I think so. It'll be like that RPG style. I hope.
Dude,
I think
I'm
it'll be good.
Slay with Butters. I love Butters.
I know you love Butters. Butters is a great character.
Captain, what's that guy's name? I can't think. Captain
Butters. Oh.
His alter ego guy.
Oh my God.
Insano? No, not Captain
No,
Insano. That's Waterboy.
Captain. Wait. Oh no.
Why can't we think of this?
Oh no.
It's right.
I'm Googling
Damn,
it because
you're
I'm having
Googling,
a moment.
I'm thinking it's Captain Inferno? No. It's like starts with an I.
Captain. It's not Osmo because that's Professor Chaos.
Professor Chaos. How do we not think of that?
But I don't know. I was like, I don't think it's like Professor Chaos. I love it.
Professor Chaos. Yeah, he's the best. I'm excited, dude. I didn't know that was coming out in fall. I'm actually like super excited. Yeah, I kind of like forgot about it.
Yeah, and I give them the pass on needing more time because they do all the voices themselves. So like that takes time.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not even the voices as much as it's just like making sure it's a polished, not glitchy ass game.
Well, that's what happened last time. It was the voices. They got delayed with the voice acting. It took longer than they anticipated to do a lot of like the voice acting and recutting things just around what they already do for the show. So
yeah. I'm excited for that. I don't mind, especially, and even like Red Dead, I don't mind when they take longer to do it because it means you're going to get a better game.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it means the game is broken and they're just trying to hold out as long as they can to try to fix it. But like when it's like Naughty Dog games, like when Uncharted 4 kept getting pushed back, I was like, this is for good reasons, not bad reasons. And it was a fantastic game. So yeah, like I know Last of Us is going to get pushed back. Like there's no doubt in my mind that's going to get delayed. So
yeah, it's just a part of it.
Yeah.
So overall, are you like it sounds like you're marginally excited for E3. Are you gonna watch the streams and stuff?
No, like I used to be super into it because like when I started YouTube, I was a collection channel mainly. Like I was all about getting like every game pretty much for different systems. And now I've chilled out, and especially where I stream, I mainly stream the same type of multiplayer game. So I just kind of wait for things to right before they come out, and then I gauge the interest of the community and whether or not I think I'll like it, then I'll go for it. Right. But so like for me, if like I pay attention to Naughty Dog games, I think I'm pretty sure there's a new Uncharted coming out with the female characters for like some kind of like weird prequel thing. So I don't know how good that's going to be. I'll get it anyways, but I'm not like super stoked to see anything about it. Yeah. So my thing with E3 is that I'm basically going to let all of the stuff happen, and then if there's like something that stands out, I'll go find the information after.
Yeah, I like watching the streams and seeing everything got unveiled. I'll probably watch the streams with my Twitch because you can do that now. I'm definitely going to be watching the Call of Duty press conference with my Twitch, so that's going to be really awesome. I actually, when there's an opportunity to, it sounds, people call it like lazy, but I think that like watching streams with your like live with your viewers is actually really freaking dope. So if I have opportunity,
you can have conversations.
Yeah, like it's instant. Like instead of just sitting there and kind of looking at Twitter while you're watching a stream, like you're talking with your friends about cool shit. So I think it's really cool that they're allowing us to do that now.
Because I wish I could watch the CWL events, but then everything got really weird with the with the streaming, and I don't.
It might be the only thing I miss about being on MLG TV.
Yeah, it sucks. It's
at
terrible.
This point. Yeah, it's like,
yeah, but even then, I don't think you could do it if you're on MLG TV now because there's so many like weird copyright laws with how the mainstream has to be getting the most viewers, and then like their secondary responsibilities or obligations to YouTube now or something like that.
I'm not sure how that works now, but when I was on the platform, I obviously asked before, and I was like, "Can I just watch this with my stream?" And they were like, "Knock yourself out." So I was like, "Nope."
But now I think they're trying to like really push the numbers. So they want to track everyone who's watching it, where they're watching it. And obviously you can't track all of these like subset channels that are streaming it unless they could make something that was like actually as a game, CWL this, and then it would just compile all the viewers, which would be the best way to do it. But they don't want people doing it on Twitch.
Yeah, I guess it would kind of depend on their current agreements between all the platforms they're doing it on. Speaking of streams, I did check with Twitter if they wanted us to talk about anything in particular, and I thought this was a pretty good question or just point of interest. What is the best stream you've ever had? Is there like one or two streams that like sticks out in your mind where you're like, damn, that was, holy shit, that was crazy. Like, that was the best stream. Or maybe even to tie in, like, when did you know you really wanted to keep streaming?
Ooh, I don't know. Like with me, with streaming, it was honestly after the first stream, even though I didn't have like that many viewers, I was like, damn, this is like super fun and like really great to talk to people. So it was like pretty much right away that I was like, yeah, I want to keep streaming. And then it just kind of built from that and built from that. I think honestly, I'm the type of person that if I hadn't had a couple of good ones at the beginning, I might have gotten discouraged. But luckily, because I'd already been doing YouTube, I had a little bit of a
I imagine it's really tough for like if you don't have momentum on any other social media, and then you start Twitch and you have like 2 to 5 viewers, and you're like, all right, I'm talking to myself for 3 hours.
Yeah,
I could imagine feeling dejected, or is dejected a better word? Because you're not being rejected.
Yeah, it's just like
it's just that people don't know. They don't know what you don't. They don't know.
Yeah, like my friend Tyler's been streaming lately, but he's been going through all of his like old favorite story games. So for him, he's like, if nobody ends up watching, then I'm just doing what I'd be doing in my free time anyway, so it's okay. But a lot of people who play, you know, like H1Z1 or CS:GO or Call of Duty, they're just kind of like they're doing it because they want to interact with people, and because there's nobody to interact with, it's just kind of sad.
You ever go into those streams? I used to go into them all the time, and like I wouldn't chat. Ones? Yeah, I'd be logged out, and I'd go in and watch this guy with like 3 viewers just to see what's his deal. Yeah, I was watching this guy play Black Ops 3, and I mean, he seemed like he was having a great time with 3 viewers. He was talking to someone. I couldn't even see his chat, but he was talking to someone, and I just like looking at other streamers, like how they have their layout or how they have like how do they organize their shit, right?
Yeah, it's nice to see for sure.
So, what is there a stream that sticks out in your mind where you're like, holy shit, that was the best stream ever?
I've got a couple. I'm gonna say the first one. There was one where I made like. It was like $1,200 in one stream, and I was like,
so it's like via donations.
Yeah, via donations, and I was like, that is like more money than I make in a month. Like that's crazy.
So just that does sound crazy. So were you doing like a fundraising thing, or was it just like
I was just like well, like I had a donation goal up, but it wasn't like a time none of them were time sensitive, and it was just like crazy. And that's happened a couple times. Like there's just one that everybody got in on. It was like, you know, one person would donate this much, and the next person would donate more, and then the next person would donate a little bit more, and it just kept going back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I've had a couple of those streams that are amazing, and it's just, and then you just have other streams where just like randomly, and I think that stream I randomly capped out at like 52 viewers with no hosts, which is like really, really high for me. So I was like, what in the world is happening? I don't know if it's like, some people somehow know you're getting donations or something, and they just start popping in.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, I've noticed, like, when something interesting is happening on my stream, like, it's just because they'll share it. They'll be like, yo, you got to get in here. Fucking, there's a link or a retweet or whatever.
Sometimes I feel like it's honestly people that are, like, judging you, being like, look at this person who's getting money. Come watch this person. How are they getting money? But I'm a pessimist, so maybe.
Maybe. I mean, I think that those types of streams are really cool because it like, especially if you were like, I think were you trying to crowdfund to go to Anaheim?
No, that was after Anaheim was already made. I think it was for the laptop at that point.
So then, like, people like to feel like they're a part of something.
They do, yeah. People like to donate
can
when they're
lead to like piggybacking or like dono trains and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's crazy. Yeah,
I think. I'm trying to think. I have 2 streams that stick out of my mind, and both of them were semi-recent. And I've been streaming since like.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah, I've been streaming a long time. So there's been a lot of dope streams where I'm like, damn, that was crazy. Like,
just whoa.
Or and maybe even not even like in a monetary sense of like, oh wow, I can't believe how much money I made, or I can't believe like I got this many subscribers. Not even in that sense, but like maybe we just had a crazy ass conversation in the chat, and I end my stream and I'm like, damn, that was crazy. We talked about pizza toppings for an hour and a half or whatever it was. You know, just like crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
But one that sticks out, there's 2 that stick out in my mind. When I came back to Twitch, and it sucks because my computer turned off in the middle of the stream, right when I was really gaining some momentum.
Oh, that sucks.
And so when I think about that day, I think about that first. But then I think about like how many people were excited that I was coming back to Twitch, how excited I was to be back to Twitch, because you guys have no idea. Like, I counted down the seconds until I could be back on Twitch, right? Like, and that's not to like say anything bad about MLG. I did enjoy my time on MLG. The first year that I was on MLG TV, we were killing it. I was growing a lot. I was growing well. And I think part of that had to do with my YouTube channel was doing really well at the same time.
Yeah.
But then the second year of MLG, a lot of the popular content creators were off the site. There's no growth. It was anti-growth. It was losing life, right? And that's a horrible feeling as someone who's trying to do this for a living. And not even just that, but just when you want to do something and it's not going your way. You're facing like adversity. You're facing something.
And you can't do anything to fix it because you're contractually obligated.
So I was trying to get out of my contract. I was trying to pay out my contract. I was trying everything to get out of that thing, and they wouldn't let me, which I understood because I signed it. Like, I had to be a big girl, you know. I was like, okay, well, I'll just do my duties and get out of there. And then, but yeah, when I came back to Twitch, it was like a huge relief for me, and it has afforded me an opportunity to grow. And although like this year has been particularly rough, like viewership wise, I feel that I still have an incredibly supportive community behind me, and I'm just happy to be back on Twitch. So that was probably my favorite one. But then recently, when we did that charity stream for OpTic with the Call of Duty endowment, when I got to the OpTic house, the girl, I think her name was Rachel, the Australian girl that like basically everyone loved. She was really nice, and she was like, I think they had like an expectation for how much money they wanted me to raise, and I think they said like $1,000 or $2,000 that they wanted me to raise. And so I went in there like, holy shit, how am I going to get viewers to donate that much money? You know, like, I don't know. I was scared. So, and my friend Ashton was there. She's the community manager at IW. She's super cool. And so we were thinking of ways like, what can we say to like, you know, like if we do this in the game, or if you do this, donate this amount, we'll do this in the game. It's kind of stuff like that. Because we're raising money for charity, if you don't know. It's like
exactly.
24-hour like charity stream. I wasn't getting this money, right?
No,
so,
you got to hustle. You got to hustle.
Yeah. So we go on there, and a lot of my like MiDNiTE Mafia homies like came through huge, even if they just donated like $5. And we had
it makes a difference. Yeah,
we had this guy like D-Lance donated so much. This other guy, Father Time, donated like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for charity, and we raised over like I think it was $3,200. So I exceeded my expectations and the expectations in and I think it was just a 3-hour shift that I did, 3 or 4 hours, right? So $3,000, and I think because we were really trying to hit like a goal, I believe of 100,000, which we did end up hitting. So I don't know, that was just a really cool moment for me. It wasn't necessarily my favorite stream because I was going on a stream with like 10,000 viewers, right? And not everyone on the internet is gonna like you, right? No matter who you are, right? The Twitch chat will, when there's that many people in a Twitch chat, there's going to be a percentage of them who will say crazy shit. So that I'm getting crazy shit said to me the whole time. Meanwhile, the MiDNiTE Mafia and just like people from my community are coming through huge, like in the chat with donations, and it just showed like support. Support for me. It really, I got off that stream and I wanted to cry. Like
$1 million bucks.
Yeah, and I never told the Mafia that. Never told them how special that was to me. But yeah, that was super special, and I thought it was fucking dope because it showed like my people.
They got your back.
Yeah.
They got your back.
Yeah, they got my back. They'll support me, and it was for charity, which was even more awesome. So that was probably my favorite stream moment on Twitch.
That's a great stream.
But those are like so recent. There's so many other good ones. When you stream for a long time, like I said, you'll have some crazy streams where you get off you kind of come out of your little bubble and you're like, holy shit, that just happened. That was crazy.
Yeah. Even like, only being on for a year, there's so many moments that I'm just thinking since saying that. And I'm like, oh, that was crazy too. Oh, that was awesome. Like,
like whether it was something that happened within the community or a goal that you hit finally, like, it feels good, man. Feels good. Spam in the chat.
Feels
right.
good.
So, the next thing I've written down here, YouTube has finally, I mean, they really didn't change much because this was in their terms of service already, right? Type of thing. But they're being more forward with the content creators, which is great. It is kind of like guidelines to help creators understand what is monetizable and what is not.
Yeah, well, they cleaned up the language. Before it was so vague that it was like, okay, so if I'm a news channel and I post a clip of like something that happened that's news, but it's violent, does that mean that my content can be demonetized because it's violent, even though it's for educational purposes? Because there was never any like, why can CNN do it, but I can't do it? Like that kind of stuff. And so they really clarified that it's like, if it's for education, news, or something else purposes, most of these things will be accepted as long as it's not into the realm of like gratuitous violence.
Yeah.
Or like unnecessarily to be shown. And, but then it was just basically a lot of stuff like that they really they cleaned up the language and made it way more, less vague.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part, and creators wouldn't have freaked out so much if they had just done this from the get. And I get it. They're learning, we're learning. This whole thing is really, when we look back at this time, this like 5 to 10 year time period on the internet for specifically YouTube, we're going to look at it as like, wow, shit was wild back then, right? Like
wild.
There's no form to it, right? And so everyone's kind of just off the cuff. And so now that maybe they understand that communication is key, because, and I feel like when we last spoke about this, that Content Creators Summit may have helped a lot.
Well, that was the biggest thing. It's like, we know that you guys have advertisers, and we know that the advertisers, you know, they have the right to not want their content played on their advertisements played on certain types of content.
Definitely.
We get that, but you need to tell us either A, what we can do, or B, when we do something that is wrong, you need to tell us exactly what it was. You can't just be like, we demonetized your video and didn't really tell you, and it's just, or your video isn't going to make as much money because we let people opt out of being advertised on it, but they don't tell you that.
Yeah, there's no,
it's still monetized. It's still monetized. It just doesn't say only certain people have chosen to put ads on this video.
Right.
Like, you need to tell us what we did, type thing. And like, and it shouldn't be that hard. It should just be something like, if there was enough information going forward to make sure that the advertisement wouldn't get put on it, then it should be really easy just to send out an auto email being like, for this reason, this is what happened.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that, and I think they're trying to get better with that, and they definitely acknowledge that they're trying to work on being better with being transparent with the creators and staying in communication with creators. And even if you have the option to just send them an email and say what happened with this specific video, that would help a lot, because I feel like right now, unless you have an
support type of situation,
like I feel like because right now I feel like unless you have a really good MCN that has like actual lawyers that are like, hey, you need to tell us exactly what happened with this video, because this video got, 4 million views and Buddy made $1,000. Like, this is ridiculous. What happened in this video?
Yeah. That's serious for a content creator. And I know that's such a big number when people, like, if you're just a person who has like a quote unquote normal job and you're making, like, you're saying, oh yeah, I'd like an extra $1,000. That sounds good. But what if you could have had 4,000? Yeah. Well, when you're selling out exact work,
you're selling out 40 football stadiums basically of viewers, and you make $1,000.
There's a better price for that number.
Yeah.
And like, YouTube knows that. YouTube. Oh yeah, YouTube Facebook is making mad money with their videos. That's why you see a lot of YouTubers uploading shorts on there, or just even full videos. Yeah, but then I also don't agree with how Facebook doesn't protect creators. People who are killing on Facebook, 90% of them are people that are stealing content from YouTubers and rebranding it for Facebook. Yeah. I yell at people so much. It's not cool. It's super not cool. And there's got to be a better system. YouTube has a great system, the content ID system. Yeah. But Facebook doesn't have that, right? No. And so... Yeah.
And YouTube still needs to get better with their content ID system. So, you know, there was no reason that it should have been people like, Philip DeFranco and H3H3 Productions making them aware that there's these weird videos with like kids characters doing vaguely sexual things that are not getting restricted, Like, they literally said, oh, we didn't really realize that it was happening until people started making videos on it. Like,
or even like now, what's with this like 24/7 SpongeBob or 24/7 Family Guy like suggested video? Like, what is going on?
The new YouTube. Sorry, that's the new YouTube issue. That's probably gonna be my next video. That's the new thing, is that, and even it's not even those ones aren't even the worst ones. That's a huge issue because for whatever reason, people can just 24-hour stream multiple episodes of a show on like the same couple of accounts, make a bunch of money for being live and just having everything being pushed forward, because YouTube pushes live streams harder than they push anything else. Yes. You guys did not know that. And now everybody's exploiting it. They're exploiting it. So, and somehow they're not getting copyright restricted for, playing South Park episodes. But for me, what's even worse than that is that you have these channels doing fake giveaways, leaving their streams on constantly and not talking, just having, it's a blank picture in the background that says, subscribe to the channel. Like the stream, go follow my Twitter, blah, 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 and you'll win a free fidget spinner. But it's like nobody's giving anything away. And it's just these random streams that are staying up for 24 hours and like YouTube's not doing anything about it.
Well, I think it's hard for YouTube because YouTube's always kind of been that way. Ever since I've been on the platform, like there's a exploit and then people do it and then they solve it. So before it was... like right in the early days, you could do giveaways without messing with the terms of service. You could bump your video, like you could rebump your video into the sub box by uploading an unlisted video. No one would know until they all figured it out. You could put tags in the description. Now you can't do it anymore because that was messy with the algorithm. Like, we're constantly as content creators looking at the algorithm. Okay, how do I get my shit out there? Because there's so many people, right? There's so many people. So you're like, okay, how do I do it? What's the best way to grow? And now it's just turning into this constant like battle of like the content creators finding a loophole or a way to get recognized more. And then YouTube trying to react to it. So they're in a tough spot. And I agree with you that like this weird like borderline kiddie porn Spider-Man you know, you like a fidget spinner live stream of a loop for 10 hours. Like, I get it. But this is YouTube now, and YouTube is constantly almost like battling the content creators. And not all content creators are doing that, but
I know. It's just so weird. It is an exploit. And like, it's one thing, I get that that's the reason why a lot of people, they'll stream at Twitch at the same time as they're streaming on YouTube. So that they try to drive people over to the Twitch because they know YouTube's going to push it harder. Because that's just what they're doing. But that's what I mean. Like, I think that they should just be pushing it the same way that they push videos. They shouldn't be pushing it harder. I think that's the bigger issue right now, is that it's like they're not even taking into account necessarily what the stream is or what is going on with it. It's like, okay, you're live right now. We're instantly going to push your content. Like, there are channels that I don't have the bell clicked on for them. I do not. And every time they go live, I get an email. And I was like, I did not ask for emails about this person's stream. I did not ask for that. Why are you sending me an email that this person is live? I don't care.
Yeah.
You know? Well, maybe I do for some of them, but it's like, why are you pushing this so much harder than
it
videos?
Should be up to the discretion of the viewer. And that's one thing where I don't really fucks with YouTube right now because of that type of stuff. Like, for instance, when they changed the sub box to be like, or when the videos stop going to the sub box, seemingly. A lot of content creators are complaining about that. And now the first thing you see on YouTube is the recommended, pretty much. Unless you choose that you want to see your subscriptions. And YouTube used to not be like that. I like the idea of, hey, I subscribe to these 10 people because I really want to see these 10 people. And so now if I look in my recommended, it's like, okay, well, this guy's really big and so many people watch his videos consecutively, so we're really going to push that. And now to like get your video in that position, like a lot of channels, especially like mine, when I do upload consistently, a lot of the views come from later. They don't come from the sub box. You can see where they're coming from. It's all recommended, and it's all that type of stuff, and the type of content that is pushed by YouTube. I don't really line up with that anymore. Like, I don't like pranking my mom and like pretending that there's something wrong in my life all the time in every video, and like getting you worried about me
10,000 times.
Yeah, like that type of weird stuff, like this weird like clickbait-esque era that we're in on YouTube. It's like it's not where I'm from, and it's not really what I enjoy. I could easily, I feel like, make videos where I'm like, okay, how can I play on the emotions of the people that watch me and make them want to click? And I get it. It's like a hustle. Like, you want people to click on your shit just so you can show them, hey, I make good videos and I want you to see them, right? And I've made clickbait videos before. I've done it just as like tests, like get you guys all worried about something in the thumbnail, and then you have to watch. And I do get more views because of that. Like, and I get more money because of that. Like, that's honest.
And I'm okay with that, because I feel like at that point you're at least in the video. You then do something that it's like, oh, this was cause for concern. It's more the people that do that, and then you get to the video and there's nothing in there, and then you talk to them later and they're like, oh yeah, I just did that and titled it that way because I knew it was going to get me the most views and it was going to get me the most money. I don't care about making good content. I care about making money. Like, some of them are so honest about it, like so on, and like, you know, respect for you for being honest about it.
I think it's one thing to want to reel people into your content, and then there's another where it's just like following trends and just doing it because, like, even like a good friend of mine, Prestigious Key, like I think he did like a 8-hour something. It was some ridiculously long video of a fidget spinner spinning. It's like a 12-second clip, and he just looped it to go for 8 hours. And it was funny because he was doing it to be ironic. He put in the description like, "This is what YouTube is now." Yep. And you guys look, you clicked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it's true. It really is. And it's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. I'm old school, and this is part of the reason why I've transitioned to doing like just more focus on my stream and growing that community. But I do miss YouTube sometimes. I really feel like if I find, you know, a niche or my groove again, I could definitely get back into it. But
I think that's my thing. I've never been big, so I don't really have anything to be disappointed about. I've just kind of been like slowly growing for the most part. So it's just like,
no, that feels, when you're on the come up, it feels so good. And
it's not like it's not a come up. Like, there's some people like, I could probably work harder and get on to the point where I'm going to come up. But, you know, I feel like I'm in a good place right now. I like evenly distributing my focus on both. So,
well, it's difficult too. I think it's difficult to try to do streaming and do YouTube.
It is.
Because you have to balance both. That's why a lot of a lot of the really successful YouTubers only do YouTube. A lot of the really successful Twitch streamers only just do Twitch.
I know, it makes me sad. It makes me feel like I should pick one and focus on it. But like, I see so many people who do that, and then one starts going bad, and then they immediately try jumping back to the other one, and then that one starts going bad. And it's like, I'd rather just And I feel like I put a decent amount of effort in both. Like YouTube, I've been slacking lately. I'm trying to get a little bit more better at, I'm trying to get better at putting more effort into the videos. It's not necessarily like the topics or the content. It's just making it a little bit nicer.
Right.
So that's something I have to work on. But
yeah,
like,
I think. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go. You go.
I think that when both are firing well, it goes like I've noticed when my YouTube does really well, my Twitch does really well. When my Twitch is doing really well, my YouTube does really well. Like that's why I do want to come back to YouTube. It's not. I mean, I feel like this podcast is just kind of keeping my channel, keeping it going, keeping it fueled a little bit. It's definitely not my old like schedule or ideal schedule once a week, but you know, it's something I really enjoy, and I just don't. I've been in a position before where I've done content where I don't actually care about what I'm doing, and I just did it to keep paying my bills and get something out and be consistent because consistency is key. But you know, it's it was a lot of things at once. Just how YouTube changed, how I changed, how the community of what I primarily posting changed. Like it was a lot of change going on. So, but I still have a passion for it. Like I think all the time of good ass ideas for YouTube. If I told you some of them, you'd probably be like, "Why the frick don't you make those?" Ashley?
Seriously, like, I'm already on your case.
I know. I'm just like I just don't like YouTube right now. I like streaming. That's what I like. But trust me, I've got good shit in my head.
I believe it. That's the thing. People will be like, "Oh, why don't you stream more?" And I'm like, "Well, because I had to get my video out for today, and that takes time, and it takes like I got to film it, I got to edit it, I got to schedule it, and then I have to eat." And it's like,
well, also you wake up at the ass crack of dawn to go to work too. Like you have a huge disadvantage compared to me. Like I just wake up late because I can. Like you're working your ass off. So I think that's even harder too. What you're doing. So I respect you a lot for keeping consistent on both. For sure.
I appreciate it.
You know what I don't respect a lot?
What don't you respect a lot?
Kathy Griffin, man.
Kathy Griffin.
I'm going to start this off by saying we're going to talk about this. I still am a fan of her previous work. I think she's really funny. She's had some great stand-up specials, some great shows. I think she's a funny lady. But she really fucked up really bad.
Guar did it first.
Yeah.
No, Guar did it first.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah. There's been all kinds of musicians that have done this. Like Guar kills the president on stage. I believe I'm gonna get the name wrong. It's not Willie Nelson. Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
He has been seen, I believe I heard he shot arrows at like a Hillary Clinton doll or like piece of cardboard, Hillary Clinton, something. He really don't like Hillary Clinton, basically. And I feel like Kathy Griffin really fucked up here, though. Are you in the agreement, or are you saying it's artistic freedom, let her rock?
No, I'm just more that I don't understand why this is getting this much of the reaction when like the Obama hangings and the Obama lynching stuff just kind of got like, oh wow, that's terrible, and that was it. This is getting attention from both sides.
Well, because she is a more prominent figure than the people that were burning Obama or lynching him and stuff. And I'm not, and this is a problem too with this idea, this divisiveness of the country right now is like, oh yeah, well, you guys did it too. It's like, bro, it's all bad. Two wrongs don't make a right. Like this is bad. And she made a really big mistake. And I think it means a lot. Or I think it should mean a lot that she immediately was like, yo, I fucked up. Let me fix this. Instead of really, when someone really nails it home and really digs the hole deeper, that's when it's really bad. Yeah. So she did good in apologizing immediately and realizing the issue. But then I saw I didn't watch the whole press conference. I just caught tidbits on Twitter. Did you catch it? She like basically said that the Trump family is ruining her life and her image and her career. Do you think that her career, because her career is really going to suffer now. She lost her CNN New Year's Eve thing. And I think that those are obviously repercussions she should have thought about before doing it. Yep. But I don't believe her career should be forever ruined by this. What do you think?
No, I don't think it should be forever ruined. I don't necessarily think... My thing with that is the thing that I'm most mad about is that what she was trying to accomplish, she hurt. She hurt her cause. When you do stuff like that, you hurt your cause because now both sides don't respect you. And the side that you're against has more fuel against your opinion. And it just fuels the hate train. You know, like it's really gratuitous violence like that does not help anybody. Like I've seen, you know, one of my favorite artists, like Tony Moore, he's the original artist on The Walking Dead, did like a print where it's like a giant baby in a diaper that's Donald Trump, and he's like eating just various things, like in like drinking oil and stuff, and it's like, okay, that's for
art.
comedic purposes. It's art and it's funny.
It's satire, it's art, and it makes sense.
Yeah,
but this was like the gruesome, almost ISIS style, beheaded style photo of a sitting U.S. president. And I don't like to get political on my channel because I will reiterate this every time. As long as you are peaceful in your views, I don't care what you think or your political affiliation. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Republican. I'm somewhere in the middle. If you've ever wondered,
Canadian.
Amanda's Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
So if you've ever wondered my political stance, it's that. But I'm not a Trump fan. But I do think that what she did was wrong. No matter who's president, that's wrong. Even though I am not the biggest fan of Trump, like, that's wrong. I recognize that is wrong, and it shouldn't even be about party versus party. That photo, no matter who it is or whoever's party she's trying to, I guess, destroy in this sense, because I don't really think this was like I don't think she was trying to be pro-liberal by doing this. I think she was just doing it for attention.
Anti-Trump. Yeah.
I think she was doing it for attention. I think it was a shock value piece, and the photographer that she did it with is a very well-known, like, Hollywood celebrity photographer. And I actually read something, this is kind of a side note, I read something interesting about him where they actually took like his photos and then compared them to much older photos that are basically the same exact concept.
Ooh.
And I'll actually link that down below because you can see that he, I guess, I mean, art is inspired, right? Art is always being inspired. So, but he has a lot of very cross-inspirational types of photos where you can see the dates of the old photo and then his photo. It's real sketchy. But, so he's a sketchy guy. Kathy Griffin is already an edge comic. She's already an edgy person if you've been a fan of her stuff, which I have been in the past, right? I'm a fan of her. But I can't be a fan of this. I don't support her on this. I think it's horrible, and I think she did right by apologizing immediately and realizing she fucked up. Yeah. But I don't think it should ruin her career, but she definitely did fuck up, and she should reap the
repercussions of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was saying about whole like the Obama thing, is that I don't agree with any of it. And it's just that, and obviously because she's high profile, it's going to get more attention. It's the same reason why she's getting all the attention, but bands like Gwar aren't. Because Gwar has been doing random shock value, bloody, disgusting things for years. And
that's their show. They like spray guts on the crowd and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. They do. They do all sorts of terrible things. So like that's their gambit. But with it, when you're a high profile celebrity who is, you're the host of a New Year's Eve show. That's that's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal. Very few people can do that. Like, you got to know that obviously there was going to be something that came about of it, and then people are going to see it and people are going to be affected by it. So
I don't know, man. It was all bad. I think that she should have just stuck. I mean, she's always been the shock value thing. I know I've said that a lot, but she kind of is always been this person who's on the edge making jokes. And I think that's fine, but you got to stick to what works for you. Yeah. Make people laugh. Make people escape from these times by making jokes. You can still like people. I mean, this is a great time for people to be a comedian when Donald frickin' Trump is the president.
It is. It's a great time to be a comedian and a punk musician. It is a great time.
And I would even argue that comedy is the new punk music. Like these shows, these comedians are hosting these night shows now, and they're going in. They're making jokes. And that's the new thing. And so I think that she should have just stuck to what she was really good at and not done such a shock value thing. And now I don't think her career should be ruined forever after this.
Just dealing with some rip, and she'll bounce back. I feel like she will. Yeah. Like, I'm not mad about it. Like, some people are like outraged. I'm like, that was stupid.
Yeah, I think it's really disrespectful. I wouldn't be I'm not mad at her because she has the freedom to do that. But we also, as people, have a freedom to be like, that was really shitty, dude. Why'd you do that?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. All bad. Not good. Kathy Griffin. I'm still barely a fan. Not really. I mean, I'm interested to see what she does next.
I've never really paid attention to her, honestly.
She's funny, dude. She's funny as hell. That's why she should have just kept doing what she's doing. Because she's funny.
Like, I can't even think of anything she's been in.
She does a lot of stand-up. And I've watched those. But also, I forget what it was called, but she used to be on this like reality show where they would kind of follow her around when she does her Kathy Griffin stuff, and she's just fucking funny, dude. Like she's got a good comedic personality, and so I think she fucked up, and that's me as her fan saying that she fucked up pretty bad.
Yeah,
that's another thing I was gonna kind of ask you. When people do things like whether it's a celebrity, a musician, or an actor, when they take if they do something bad or they do something that you wildly don't agree with, are you able to enjoy their art? Are you able to still enjoy their music and their movies?
Depends on the person and what they did. So I will not listen to Lost Prophets anymore.
What'd they do?
The lead singer got accused, well, he's in jail for trying to orchestrate some child porn stuff with really young, really like babies, basically.
What?
Yeah, so...
And this is a band? I've never heard of them.
This is a band, and I feel bad for the rest of the band members because I feel like they were chill, but yeah, like certain songs come on and I'm like...
Damn, Steve, why'd you have to do that, man?
Yeah,
Fuck.
pretty much. So, like, their careers are like that. That was messed up. But like, Kanye West doing something stupid...
I love
For the most
Kanye.
part, I'll still listen to his music. If there's songs that I like, I'll listen to the music.
Some people hate that I love Kanye, but I am the type of person, I really like polarizing people.
You
really do.
You've mentioned.
I love it. I love Kanye. I think he's ridiculous sometimes. I think he's at times disrespectful, but I think his music is wonderful, and I really like him. One artist that I never really was too into him before, Chris Brown. I was never too into him before. I like some of his songs where I'm like, God damn, I freaking hate him, but why do I like this song?
Never really liked his music, but I can't. Nope. Do not. Nope. No. Chris Brown.
He ruined himself for me. Just how he is. Not even. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say not even what he did, because what he did to Rihanna was really messed up.
Yeah.
But how he continued to act like an asshole after that, and I don't know, it's just really weird. It's really weird. I can't enjoy stuff with him. But on the flip side, like for instance, I think Tom Cruise is psycho. I think Scientology is full of psychos, right? And there's even some other actors, like what's her name from Orange is the New Black is a Scientologist for her whole life.
Oh yeah, Laura Prepon.
Yeah, she's a Scientologist, and I fucking love her, man. Like I love her.
Half the cast of that '70s show basically were Scientologists.
Yeah, basically John Travolta is Scientologist, Tom Cruise. But I'm still able, even though I think they do some borderline psycho shit in their religious cults.
Well, the celebrities just give money, I think, and basically just have the status.
They give money, and then they go to these. They reach a new level.
Yeah,
and
they do.
They really do. Have you ever? Fuck, what's her first name? Something I can't remember her name. The girl from King of Queens.
Oh yeah.
Why can't I remember her first name? Ramini is her last name. She's like Italian, I think.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Lisa? No. I can't remember her name.
Vizzini, something.
No, her last name's Ramini or something like that. But I can't remember her first name. But anyway.
King of Queens.
She's out of Scientology now. Yeah. She was in it her whole life. She paid in millions and got to these higher levels. And she literally, I mean, this is only one person experience, but she literally thought that they think they're better than everyone else. They think that they have the answer and everyone else is just doesn't get it.
It's like all religions.
Actually. Like all cults.
Yeah, that one's worse. Oh, for sure. Scientology is insane. It's Leah Remini. Leah
Remini. God, I don't know why I can't think of her name. She's so funny. I love her on King of Queens. I grew up watching her. So, but she's out now. She's been out for I think less than 5 years, which is kind of crazy.
Did a whole show about it.
Go for your whole. I haven't caught the show yet, but I really want to watch it. It's crazy that I don't know. These people are doing this crazy shit, but I'm still watching Edge of Tomorrow and letting my mind be blown by Tom Cruise. I love Tom Cruise movies.
See, I only like some Tom Cruise movies. Like the new Mummy movie looks like a hot steaming pile of garbage.
The new Mummy looks terrible.
10-foot pole. No, I think Tom Cruise is insane. So.
He is. Yeah. But have you seen Edge of Tomorrow? That's a good movie, but I feel like his track record lately has been it's been teetering in terms of what's good and what's bad. It's the good stuff's going down as the bad stuff's going up. I like Jack Reacher, but it's definitely not on a Mission Impossible and Edge of Tomorrow level.
See, but then I'm also weird because I know that Sean Penn beat the crap out of Madonna, but I will watch Sean Penn movies.
Yeah, I love I Am Sam.
Yeah,
but
which sucks.
He really did beat the shit out of Madonna.
Yeah, he did, because I love Mystic River, and
it's Mystic River too.
Mm-hmm. So, and I know he did, but I feel like he acted differently in the wake of that. I feel like he Like, I don't, I mean, I have to look into it, but there's a difference between Chris Brown being like, I didn't do, that wasn't that bad. That was
Yeah, he really didn't follow up very well.
He did not own up to what he had done. Like,
that's the worst. When someone can't admit when they fucked up or they did a shitty thing.
Yeah, I'm not, and like I've said, I'm definitely not giving Sean Penn any kind of pass because you're gonna beat, if you're gonna do that to anybody, you're a piece of shit. But if you're also like, to the level that Sean, oh my God, the more I think about that, that's messed up. I can't watch Sean Penn movies anymore. Okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. There is, I guess it kind of depends on a case by case basis, but there's some people where I'm like, that guy's a freaking psycho, but I love your song or I love your movie. And then, I know what you did, and now I just somehow can't not see you as this monster. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I think it's definitely, to circle back, I think it's definitely possible for Kathy Griffin to survive this.
I think so.
But she also made a very big mistake, and now she's seen what happens when you do.
Well, there are certain people who are never going to be okay with her. Like, staunch Trump supporters are never going to be okay with her again.
They might have they might have already not been okay with her.
Exactly. Like, first of all,
she just really put the nail in the coffin with those people.
Yeah, pretty well. So, what a time.
It's freaking, what a time to be alive. I thought we'd touch on this because we touched on it at the end of the last episode. Ariana Grande went and visited those injured children and just people from the Manchester tragedy, and then she threw a gigantic concert.
She did,
with a bunch of amazing performances, and apparently it raised $9 million in donations for the British Red Cross,
which is crazy.
Fucking awesome. Love conquers all. Love it. I love the vibes. I almost cried when Coldplay played Fix You.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh my God, Coldplay.
My heart.
Oh, man.
It was deep. Did you catch a lot of it, or?
I watched like parts of it, like sections of it on and off. So yeah.
I liked it that it was streamed on YouTube because I could actually watch it from the beginning while it was going on, which I think you can actually do on Twitch too, but I just can't imagine Ariana Grande firing up her Twitch channel.
I know, right?
She should, though. I think every celebrity should have a Twitch channel, man.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Hell yeah. I know a lot. Well, I don't know a lot, but I know of some like celebrities or whatever that have streamed on Twitch.
Yeah, and,
who
somebody has like a really prolific. Somebody randomly has a YouTube channel that somebody found, and then it blew up, and it didn't blow up until somebody had found it. And I can't remember what actor it is, but
wait, so he was uploading YouTube? I think I know what you're talking about. It's one of the older male acters.
Yeah, like one of the a male actor.
I can't remember his name. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just can't remember who it was, but they found. Yeah, he was just uploading YouTube videos just casually.
Damn.
It's like not Brad Pitt, but it's someone similar, like in that.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. I'm thinking of his face, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I don't think it's Matthew McConaughey. Maybe it is Matthew McConaughey.
No, it was him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, it was. Okay. That's who it was. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I love him. He's good.
I'm like indifferent.
I'm glad he got out of the rom-com stuff. Have you ever watched True Detective?
Yes.
Season 1?
He was really good in season 1.
Right?
Yeah.
Those types of roles he's taking more of. Did you also see Dallas Buyers Club?
No, I didn't. I skipped that one.
You need to see it. It's amazing. He's amazing in it. Speaking of amazing, I got a lot. We're kind of at time, and I don't even think you watch his show, The Leftovers.
I do not, but I heard everybody's like, "Oh my God, the ending," and then they're being like, as in life, there is not convenient endings, and some things are left unknown. I was like, yeah, don't want to mess with that.
No, it ends well. I think it ends well. It ends perfect. And it's from the same writer that did Lost. It's on HBO, and it's a 3-season miniseries, and it's one of the best things I've ever watched.
I'll give it a go.
I actually cried, like in real life. Real tears, bro. Nothing makes me cry.
Okay, look, I'm the opposite. I let myself go with the feelings of media. Like, if something's like, I go with it.
Wait, you do cry
I watch Power
all
Rangers.
the time? What?
Oh, yeah.
The new one?
Yeah, there was a...
Does someone die?
cry-worthy... Yeah.
No, don't spoil. Okay, never mind. Don't spoil. Who doesn't want Power Rangers spoiled?
I'm just saying that, like, there's things that happen sometimes. Okay, it's like I don't know, like, it's like there's just things that happen, like I read Harry Potter and still cried watching Harry Potter. I knew it was happening and I was still crying.
Well, I think it's a big part due to, like, actors and how good they are at making us feel those things, too. That's why it's an art.
I let myself get lost in the fields of media. No shame.
I mean, I do, but it's super rare. Like yesterday was super rare.
Well, there you go. So that means it's really good.
Yeah, it was like a cry unicorn.
Yeah.
For real. You should watch it. It's on HBO. If you have HBO Go, you need to check it out. I'm
don't,
sure,
but you know.
How do you not? How do you watch Game of Thrones? The wrong way?
No, actually, no. My ex's parents had HBO, so we would watch it.
Oh, frick. You need to find a way.
I'm going to find a way to watch. Don't worry, Game of Thrones. It's going to be fun. I'll figure it out. I've got a couple months.
Dope. Well, I didn't even realize we were over time until I just like looked.
Yeah.
So that must mean it was a good podcast.
I think so. Because we were just
chit-chatting.
Doing good chit-chatting.
Chit-chatting. I like it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have I been looking at the wrong cam the whole time? I probably was. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. I really appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Comment your thoughts below. Like, what are you looking forward to out of E3? What else can we have in comments? Esports psychology, is that a thing? Did we just make that up, or could that be a thing? Kathy Griffin's crazy. She made a mistake. What do you think about it? Have you written her off forever? Or not? Let us know.
Good to know. Are there any celebrities that you just like you can't anymore because they did something? We want to know. Really, is there somebody that we should not like that maybe we do? Let us know.
Yeah, tell us all their secrets, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys watching, though, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Much love to you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can catch future episodes of the podcast and also future uploads that I may do one day. And then also sub to Amanda. She's hilarious. And her Twitch. Yeah, she uploads all the time. And she streams. And she has a full-time job. So follow her. She deserves it, I think.
I'm trying really hard to hit 3K before Anaheim. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm trying. So if you would like to help.
Yes, please go.
I'm like 70-ish away.
Go sub to Amanda if you haven't already. I'm going to unsub and then resub so I can be the 3K. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Go sub to her.
Don't be that person.
Don't be that guy or girl. Don't be that person. Yeah. Catch you guys next week, though. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And yeah, bye, Felicia's. Good talk. We'll see you out there. I don't have an outro. Bye.